What's up guys, it's Mystic coming to you guys with another YouTube video. Now in today's YouTube video we're going to switch it up and I'm going to talk about a show that I like to watch called Legends of Tomorrow. And it's going to be a recap and my kind of opinions and thoughts about the show, this episode in particular. Now number one, watch out for spoilers. Obviously if you haven't seen the show or haven't seen the episode, watch the episode, come back and watch the recap. Also, I just recommend watching it. Go ahead, go out there and watch it. It surprised me. It's actually doing pretty well, and it's a quite entertaining show. So why don't we get right into it? So the show starts off right after episode 12, where they have to go into the future to confront Vandal Savage, just because they're running out of time, because their younger selves are taken out of time and they can't stay out of time for that long. So they arrive in 2166. It's 3 days before Rip's family is killed, so they have to get there before that and prevent their deaths from happening. So they ended up going to a speech that Vandal Savage is kind of giving to gather some intel and keep an eye on them. They ended up spotting a woman with a bracelet on. And right away, Kendra gets a flashback from her first life and her first death, that she had the bracelet on, that specific bracelet on during the time of her death. And obviously, anything from that night can be used to kill Savage. So they end up trying to figure out a way to use that to their advantage and try to steal the bracelet and find a way to use it to kill Savage. So they ended up going to a resistance camp right afterwards, and that's where Rip and Ray end up having a talk about this point in time. What I mean this point in time, I'm talking about 2166, right before Rip's family is killed by Savage. Rip ends up confessing that he's been in this point in time before, that he's tried to stop Savage in this time frame before, and that every single time he fails. And even though he's tried different methods, different things in the past, it always ends up with the death of his family. And so that's kind of sad and unfortunate for him, and I think that's definitely one of the highlight of the show. Now right away, Kendra gets a flashback, another flashback, when she gets close to Carter's mace. And right away she gets inspired to use the bracelet, melt it down, and coat it to be able to kill, Vandal with it. I think it was a really good idea. I think it was pretty clever. I liked it. So they end up making a plan to steal the bracelet. Unfortunately, when they get to the woman that's wearing the bracelet, they find out that she knows a lot more about them than they thought. She ends up knowing their names, and they ended up taking her and kidnapping her. Snart ends up interrogating her, and they find out that her name is Cassie Savage, and she's the daughter of Vandal Savage. She ends up praising her father a lot, has a lot of respect for him, and she idolizes him as the person that helped the world after the Armageddon virus was released. Her mother was killed in it, and he tries to convince her to help. The only way he's able to convince her is by telling her the truth, that it was actually Vandal Savage that released the virus. So she ends up seeing some of the refugees that are out there that suffering, and it kind of changes her mind. It's kind of quick. Unfortunately, they skip through it pretty quick, but what can you do? That's one of the story flaws that the episode has. After that, the ship goes under fire due to a new weapon that Vandal Savage has in this point in time, and it's called the Leviathan. It's pretty much a huge robot, and it ends up tearing the ship, well, not tearing the ship apart, but pretty much keeping it from flying. I mean, it stops working. The Leviathan ends up throwing the ship, who knows, how many yards, but the ship is badly damaged. After that, the Atom finds out a way to take down the Leviathan. At the same time, Kendra shares his plan to that she found a way to kill Savage. So they plan an assault on him. Cassie ends up helping them get into whatever bunker or fortress Savage is in. They end up getting in there pretty quick. However, Savage finds out that right away he notices that his own daughter betrayed him. They end up fighting against a bunch of soldiers right there. The fight is really good, really well choreographed, as well as the fight between the Atom and the Leviathan, because the Atom ends up finding a way to increase his size and get to the same size as the Leviathan, and they ended up putting in a lot of CGI, well done. A lot of the budget of the show, or at least of this episode, was put into the CGI. It was done really, really well. I absolutely loved it. Bray ends up winning against the Leviathan. The fight is really well. And the plot twist at the end, right before Kendra is able to kill Vandal Savage, one of his soldiers ends up helping him. And even though she knocks him down, the helmet right away comes off him, and who is it? It's Carter. She ends up not killing Savage just because he is the only person that can save Carter and actually get his memory back. I liked it because it was the only way to keep Savage from going without killing him right away, because there's still a few episodes left. Anyways, the good thing is that he didn't escape. They didn't let him go. They ended up taking him in, and he's prisoner on a ship. So now what they're going to do is try to find out next episode probably how to get Carter's memories and his personality back. And I really hope they do a little bit more with Cassie Savage. She ended up joining the Resistance and helping them out. And again, I'm really excited for the next 3 episodes. I don't know if they're going to kill Savage, but I'm definitely going to keep watching the show. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the kind of just the recap. Give a thumbs up if you guys want me to do one for The Flash. I know there's only a few episodes left too, but if you guys want me to do that, I'd be more than happy to. Also, leave a comment if you guys have any suggestions or opinions. Give me some feedback. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.